Hey guys, it's Camden. Welcome to another episode of Spirit and Ears. We got some really big news from the Walt Disney World parks today over there in Orlando, Florida, and we just wanted to go over kind of what that information is and how we're feeling about it over here at Spirit and Ears. So we're gonna get into it. The big news that came out today is that on July 11th, Walt Disney World, along with Disney's Animal Kingdom, will be opening up. They're super excited about it. They laid out 5 new health and safety protocols that they're going to be using to try to limit the amount of COVID exposure that the people have and hopefully eliminate that fear entirely. Along with these 2 parks opening on July 11th, they also announced that Epcot, along with Disney's Hollywood Studios, will be opening shortly after on July 15th to, bring everybody back into the parks. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to get into the 5 new health and safety protocols that they outlined and just how those are going to go about when everybody returns to the parks on July 11th. So the first thing should be not a shocker to anybody is that they're going to be requiring all cast members along with all guests to be wearing a physical mask over their mouth and over their nose to enter the parks. This is a no-brainer. We've been hearing about this since the beginning of COVID-19 and people being quarantined and being told to stay at home, that you need to wear a mask. This is the easiest way, well, one of the easiest ways, along with washing your hands, to not contract the virus and to keep not only yourself safe, but also to not spread it to anybody else through your own coughing or sneezing if you do have COVID-19 and maybe you're not aware of it yet. So should be no surprise, Disney as well has come out with Disney themed masks that they put out on Shop Disney, from Star Wars theme to Pixar theme to Minnie and Minnie Mouse themed to the actual old school Disneyland characters, just their face, like Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh, and I think they did Stitch as well. So probably wasn't a shocker to anybody that they were going to be having this as part of their 5-point protocol to keep everybody safe when the parks reopen. The second one, again, is a no-brainer, is that they're going to be really focused on physical distancing, at least keeping people 6 feet apart. They're going to have a lot of different signs up throughout the parks to remind people. They outlined some of those and how they would look on the actual board meeting that they had a live broadcast of, along with having spots on the floor like we've seen at the Shanghai Disneyland reopening. They're going to have those on the floor to show people where to stand. I'm assuming probably the same thing as far as tables to sit at while you're eating your food and so on and so forth at the park. And in addition to that, they also talked about that they're going to have relaxation stations. And these are supposed to be areas where people are, I'm assuming, spread out enough to be able to relax, take off their mask, and feel comfortable doing so. And I think especially at Walt Disney World, that'll be a big, big thing because it does get so hot in Orlando, Florida, along with the humidity. So I think that that'll be a pretty interesting concept. I hope that it's done safely and that people are far enough apart and practice the right safety guidelines to be able to enjoy these stations and feel comfortable and take off those masks, because I'm sure they're going to be a lot of people are going to be sweating underneath them. So we hope that those are really a positive way for people to be able to feel comfortable maintaining their mask when they aren't in the relaxation stations, to keep everybody and themselves safe. The third one that they outlined is that the cast members are being educated a lot on hotspots for cleaning, so areas that people are touching a lot, maybe people are standing a lot and breathing on, or potentially sneezing on, coughing on, so on and so forth. And also, in addition to those hotspots, how exactly cleaning them and cleaning them the correct way will actually lead to people not contracting the virus once they end up back in the parks and enjoying, the theme parks that we've all come to love. So they're putting a great deal of emphasis on that with the cast members. I believe that they're bringing in cast members just to do this and really to emphasize on this, which I think is a great step forward, because this is a very big way that we are going to minimize the amount of people, if anybody, contracting the virus at the parks, in addition to people taking it on themselves to use the hand washing stations and really make sure that they're doing their best to keep things clean on their own surfaces as well. The fourth one, no surprise again, is that they're going to be doing temperature checks. So these are supposed to be contactless temperature checks, meaning they're pretty basic at this point. They're not too crazy. You kind of just walk through something. They use a camera and It just checks your body temperature that way. Fairly accurate. They will definitely keep people from having a fever to walk in. And that golden number that we've all heard, or at least people who are essential workers have heard a lot, is 100.4. So I believe that Walt Disney World, I don't think they actually said that it was going to be 100.4. I could be wrong on that, but that's been generally the golden number as far as where the cutoff is from being fine with your temperature to, believing that you might have COVID or any other type of sickness that would cause you to have a fever and being sent home. So no shocker there that they're going to be checking people's temperatures coming into the park, as well as the employees coming into the park for their shift for the day. So that is another way that people who are showing symptoms will hopefully not be let into the park to spread the virus that way. The last way in their 5 points that they outlined is that they're going to be doing a lot more contactless payments. This is obviously for a lot of goods as far as like food. So we all kind of thought that mobile ordering was going to pick up and kind of explode during this time because it's just the easiest way to keep people out of lines, as well as not having to physically handle cash, which has been a big way of people contracting the virus, people having it on their hands, giving the money, or the money having it and giving it to other people, and it's spreading that way. So a lot of contactless pay that we've already seen coming into the parks, like Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Android Pay, so on and so forth, as well as mobile ordering and paying through the app and having your credit card in there, are going to be big things to minimize the amount of touching of surfaces that we have to do when we're doing transactions as far as food or goods or stuffed animals, whatever we're getting, to keep people safe. So those are the 5 things that they outlined. Again, the board approved that this morning to reopen the parks, at least the Animal Kingdom and Walt Disney World on July 11th, and then following along with Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios on July 15th. We do want to applaud the Walt Disney Company for actually opening the parks in July. A lot of the other parks in Orlando, Florida are opening in June, with Universal Studios being one of the first ones, if not the first one, along with SeaWorld, and I believe there's Legoland as well out in that way that's supposed to be opening. So those ones are opening in June. Disney Springs just opened May 20th, I believe, and May 20th to an early June, like June 5th, reopening date. Doesn't give a lot of time to see how the statistics go with opening these things slowly. It doesn't seem like it's the most cautious approach to it. So us as being essential workers, Scarlett working as a registered nurse doing bedside care, and myself being a psychiatric technician working in forensics inside of a jail, we do applaud the Walt Disney Company for taking this approach, kind of doing the wait and see approach and giving more time to see, maybe a little bit slower reopening of, maybe different parts of Disney Springs or, different parts of the hotels or the hotels in general, to really have that time and to see how safe the guests are to enter the park before July 11th rolls around. So we do applaud them for that, and we do feel a lot more comfortable returning to the Disney parks as opposed to a Universal Studios or something like that. That's just more or less seems, which this is just my own opinion, that they're trying to open as quickly as possible, which again we understand, but isn't necessarily the most cautious or the smartest approach. So we do want to give kudos to the Walt Disney Company for that. Moving forward from that, we've got a lot of mixed reactions. We posted a post on our Instagram page, which if you don't follow us already, we'd love to have you come and join our Disney Magic and follow along on Instagram at spirit_and_ears. You'll get to keep up with all our content and see everything that we have going on over here in Southern California. So if you don't already, follow us on there. But moving forward, we had a post today talking about this very topic and kind of just asking people, are you going to return to the parks on day one? Are you excited about this? Are you a little nervous about this? Do you feel comfortable returning to your home park? Whether that's Disneyland that doesn't have a release date yet, or Walt Disney World or Animal Kingdom that is, supposed to be opening in early to mid-July. We got a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of people were excited and saying that they're ready to put on their mask and head back to the park, which one side of us really can relate to. We feel strongly with that crowd that we also want to be just running back at the gates as soon as they reopen. But then the essential worker side and seeing, different people not only contract the virus, but just the statistics of how this, has spread and how horrible the symptoms are, and, potentially being on a ventilator and family members getting it and so on and so forth. We definitely understand the other side too, where people are feeling like, I love Disneyland or I love Walt Disney World. I'm super excited to get back and see Mickey and Minnie and Donald and so on and so forth, but I'm a little nervous for my family. I'm not really comfortable going back to the parks yet. The numbers haven't really shown that the spread of this virus have really slowed down yet, at least not in all states. So we understand both sides of the coin, and we kind of just want to talk about our approach personally, in addition to give you guys the information that Walt Disney Company has given us today. Our approach, honestly, at this point, if Disneyland were to open today or even really on July 11th, we'd probably stay home. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm raining on anybody's parade. I don't want to be, a Karen, so on and so forth. But personally, we've done a lot over here to make sure that we don't get COVID-19 and that we don't spread it to any family members or to our kids. We have, like I said, been essential workers, so we've been out here in the workforce, taking care of people, passing medication, so on and so forth, and really going out there every single day and wearing our masks and having to come home and immediately change our clothes and shower and try to disinfect the best way we can. So with that being said, kind of seems hypocritical to us in some ways for us personally to go through all that and to spread the information that we've been spreading about please wear your mask, please wear them safely, please don't go out unless you absolutely have to, get your groceries, curbside pickup, or your favorite restaurant food curbside pickup, or so on and so forth. Yet the first day that Disneyland reopens, trying to rush out there and get to the front of the gates and be around everybody who's trying to go. So that's kind of where we stand. Everything is dependent on how things change by then. If there's different treatments, different medication, or maybe a vaccine at a certain point, which we're not holding our breath that it's going to be by that point, at least not in July or August when Disneyland would be opening up. If those things were, really prevalent and they seemed like the data was strong, that people were staying safe and able to fight back and really not have some of the really harsh realities of this virus, we might be more interested in going and might be more susceptible to just trying it and seeing how it goes, and giving into the inside of us that really just misses the park. And I mean, this is the place that we used to go to almost 100 days out of the year, so it's not like we're just kind of about Disneyland in general. This is something that we're very passionate about, and we've been dying and missing since the day that they've closed those gates. So that's kind of where we stand on it, but we definitely understand people who are just dying to get back. They've been waiting. They're okay with wearing their mask, and they're okay with taking the risk of potentially getting something, and maybe they don't really feel like that risk really exists. Maybe they feel like the risk is really, really minimal, or that, they've been going out and getting things done, and they feel safe doing so. So if you are part of that group, we are not trying to shame you at all. We are not trying to tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. I just kind of have seen on my YouTube specifically that there's a lot of people presenting this data and they're so excited and they're ready to go and they're gonna be there day one and so on and so forth, and we kind of wanted to put our side out there just so if you are someone who is a little skeptical of it or a little nervous about going back to the park, or you're not really ready or comfortable yet, that you're not alone. That there's others of us that are also feeling that way, and to be honest, we'll probably stay at home. And I know that there's been a number of you on our Instagram that have let us know that, and we, feel strongly with you, and we'll probably be in that same boat with you. So again, it's not to, sorry, my voice cracked, but again, it's not to, try to shame anybody who wants to go or plans to be there day one or trying their best to get a reservation. That's not the point of this video at all. We wanted to present the information to you. We wanted to give you both sides of the coin and just say, regardless of how you feel, this is normal. This is a pandemic that we haven't had anything close to this in over 100 years. So it's normal to be a little skeptical if you're on that side, and it's totally normal to be super excited and you're ready to run out of your house the moment that you can if you do feel that way. Our biggest takeaway here is that if you are going to Walt Disney World, Disney's Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Disneyland whenever they have a reopening date, please, please, please follow the protocol and don't give the cast members a hard time. They're going to be nervous about going back to work. They're going to be the ones that have to enforce these things. And as much as you might want to take off your mask or feel like this is dumb, or that whatever you might feel that goes against whatever Disneyland or Walt Disney World is trying to do, just comply. It's more than just your safety or just your family's safety. Even if you feel like you could die in a car accident tomorrow, so why am I going to be so worried about this? It's bigger than just one person. It's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just my wife and my kids. It's bigger than just you, your family, your cousins, so on and so forth. It's about all of us. So please, please, please wear your mask, whether you have your own, whether it's the one that Disneyland provides or Disney World provides. You know, follow along, and please wash your hands whenever you get a chance to. Social distance. Just maintain the safety and stay vigilant if you have been one of those people being vigilant and taking your health very seriously. And if you aren't one of those people that takes it very seriously, at least do it at the park for the other people. That's really all that we would ask and hope that people would do for each other, even if you don't feel like you're really at risk. Just do it for the others around you. Even if it's all a hoax and none of it's real, at least it makes the other people that are kind of nervous about going but were willing to do it, at least they feel a little bit better about it and they'll feel more comfortable going to the park. As well as people like me who may stay home. We're going to be watching. We're not just going to be sitting in our rooms and twiddling our thumbs. We're going to be watching and seeing how things go to feel more comfortable to go. And we hope that everybody stays safe that ends up going, so that not only do those people stay safe and the numbers stay down or continue to decrease, but that the people that did stay home feel comfortable about going, and we can continue to open things up slowly and get back to our new normal. So I don't want to be preaching at you guys all day. We just wanted to go ahead and show both sides of the coin. Hope that you guys know that if you are super excited about this, that there's people over on that side that are obviously celebrating with you. And if you are a little skeptical, that there's people over here that feel exactly the same way as you and are contemplating staying home once the parks reopen. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment, leave a like. We'd love to have you guys subscribe along with us so you guys never miss any of our Disney magic. Hit the notification bell so you get that notification if we do drop something new. And we'd love for you guys just to be able to continue to get that Disney magic while the parks are closed.